For another live broadcast with Steinich. I play chess, so you don't have to. This is so cool. Okay, so last time we did the chess addiction episode. The time before that, it was chess on a psychedelic. And tonight, the whole idea is going to be about the singularity. Now, I don't know how many people have heard about the singularity. I'll start describing that a little bit during the gameplay, which is going to start really soon. I never start until the this waiting screen gets down to 0, and there's a reason for that because I've got a lot of lurkers out there. In fact, my grandson just told me here on the WhatsApp. I have it here on the WhatsApp. I've got more than 1,287 lurkers tonight. There's not, you're not going to see them there because this channel is like that. When you're watching Steinich, you're going to find a way. You can find it in the chat. You can go over to the YouTube channel where there's a lot of chat about this channel. People find a way to tune in without showing themselves there, and you'll learn why. You'll learn why they're not there. But tonight we're going to be playing some chess. We're going to be playing some exciting chess, some King's Gambit, and some Carol Can. And we will be talking about the Chess Singularity. Okay, so without any more ado, let's just go over there and play some chess, and I will explain the singularity as I start to play. Okay, we're just going to be, we'll see what they come out with. This is called the Carol Can. We prop up the pawn. And the singularity, as I was saying, I can explain this as I'm playing, is that there's two ways to become world champion in chess. Two ways. One is to study the books really hard. You really got to study a lot if you're going to do it that way. It's an incredible amount of study that you need to do. The other way is with what's called the singularity. That's the route that I've been choosing for myself. Basically, the singularity refers to when you just suddenly something in your mind just connects. Like you play, you don't quite connect. Later, you play again, you don't quite connect. You don't quite see the situations as clearly as you might or you wish you could. And then, one fine day, basically playing similar to how you used to play all the time, suddenly you just see it, things just look different. And that's what we call the singularity in chess. And I've got the brainwaves hooked up, and we're going to see if it works out for us. Now, I've got a number of things that are possible here. Basically, I'm going to bring the queen up here and try to go for a checkmate over there. We're going to have to force this guy out of here first. He's coming up there. That's kind of like a wasted move usually in this position when the knight advances like that. Okay, we'll see how he reacts here. We're basically set up for a pretty strong attack. We'll see. It's, like I say, with the singularity, it's going to happen. It's going to happen one day, hopefully. If you just keep working at it, keep trying. That's the concept of the singularity. I'm going to bring this knight up. If he defends against the checkmate over here, I'm going to bring this knight up here. I should bring the queen. That's interesting. I could basically forget about the singularity. I mean, forget about that attack over there because at this point we're going to trade queens and we'll see what happens here. Um, Trying for a different approach now. Do I want? I might just want him to take that knight. You know, the queens are off the board. The time is equal. We got 3 minutes each right now, about. And I might be able to get something going over here if he would take that knight. I kind of wish he would take that, but he's not going to. Um, we might be able to win on time or something. We'll see if he can figure, okay, we got to look at our pieces, try to figure out what can get developed better. This knight is kind of like, needs to get out of position. I mean, into position. We don't have a lot of time here. I have to bring my king up to protect this pawn, so that's why I did that, just to give myself one extra little move. Don't have much choice here. I have to defend the bishop. I could have brought the rook up. I guess he didn't like that bishop there. Just going to go up. I'm going to advance these pawns and see if I get some action over here. I don't want to waste the clock too much. Okay, that's good. That's very good. All very good. See, he was going to come down here and get some play on that rank. Do I have anything here? I don't like that bishop. I'm going to double my pawns here. I don't know. That's what I was trying to do before, and he didn't want to take that knight. Maybe the same thing will happen now. No, he took it now. Okay, now we are having a little bit of problems here. Crap, what can we do? Okay, I think he might want to take that pawn over there, and if he does, yeah, he wants to take that. The only thing we can do now is come down behind his pawns and hope for the best. We can get an advanced pawn here. That might help us. I'm going to try to save both of these pawns and try to get some action with my king. We got 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going to have to advance this pawn and try to get a queen. I don't have any other choice right now. It's going to be tough in any case. It's hard, it's hard, it's hard. Minute 48 to 2:07. It looks like we maybe didn't get the singularity on this one. Looks very, very, very difficult here. No, I'm going to resign. Okay. But you got the idea. You got my brainwaves. You can see the brainwaves right there in real time. When I hit the singularity, we're going to see on the brainwaves, and that's your job as the viewer. You're supposed to be looking for the patterns. Okay, so keep your eyes on those brainwaves as I play the next game, and hopefully we'll hit the singularity this time. Let's try it. Something tells me when I really hit the singularity, it's going to be with white. Let's see what happens this time. See if we just start. Okay, I'm going to really concentrate here, and see, you guys can check how the brainwaves are looking there. Playing a kind of a modified king's gambit here. This is going to be quite interesting. Okay, we're already castled. We're doing good with development. This is looking quite well. We'll see. His next move is going to be very important for us to determine our mode of attack. We're going to try to attack right here very, very soon. You can see his long bishop coming down here, but this bishop is counteracting it. I don't mind bringing that knight out there. I'm sure he's not going to take it. And if he does, I think it would be good for me because I would bring this pawn over toward the center. For one thing, open up a file. It would be very good. Okay, now that's looking interesting. Going to keep up with my development. Okay, you can take with the rook or take with the bishop. It's usually not best to get the rook out there because he can... Well, you could slide the rook over, but you don't know. You might castle queen side. It's still good to be kind of conservative here and just take with the bishop. Not to expose the rook up there too quick. Now he can put you in check. That's kind of a vacuous check because we'll just move our king out of there and very soon we'll have... Okay, we should have a plan. I'm just going to develop this bishop right up into here, protecting this. The queen I'm going to swing out over on this side over here. I think he's going to castle king side, and when he does, it'll be very nice to have a queen up. Okay, now that's an interesting move. We can already come up into here. If he takes that with that pawn, we retake with this pawn. We would end up sacrificing a pawn in that case, but it could have worked out okay for us. Now, if he advances that pawn up there, we'll bring this knight up into here. I mean, if he advances this pawn, our knight will swing up into here with a pretty good game. This pawn is looking pretty strong right now. Okay, he's attacking there. We don't have a lot of choice here. I think, though, with that knight there, we should come back here, I'm pretty sure. Because he might come up here, and then if he does, we can protect this pawn. But I'm thinking right now we'll force that knight out of there. And we'll protect this pawn with this rook. If he moves up into here with his knight. Okay, he moved up with that knight. Okay, we already had that planned out. So that saved us a little bit of time on the clock. You can see we've got 3 minutes and 39 to his 2:25, so we're doing okay on the clock. Okay, it's already time to move that knight out of there. We'll see what he does, where that knight's going to go to. We've got 2 attacks. Now we don't have a lot of choice here. We have to come up here. Now we got to figure out where to swing this queen to. And I'm thinking that the best place is right down here. The reason is I want to keep 2 on this pawn, because if I move this pawn up and he takes it with this pawn, okay, I was thinking he might do that, which would be very, very good. If we take this knight here and he retakes us here, these 2 pawns block all kinds of attacks against our king. It's really wonderful if we can get black to have a pawn here and a pawn here. Okay, so he's got a minute and 40 compared to our 309. Is he going to withdraw that knight? What's he going to do? Okay, he took it out. Can we already go up? We can't go up yet. We have to. And I'm just trying to save time on my clock. I need to protect this pawn because I want to move this pawn up really soon. And when? When can I move him up? Right now? I think so. I think it's time to bring that pawn up. I think this is going to be quite strong. If he doesn't take it, the pawn advances up here, and the bishop has to go back. He's going to lose quite a bit of time with that. I mean, just that in itself is not to say that he's going to lose the game or anything, but it would be very inconvenient to have this pawn up in here. And it's going to be inconvenient too if he takes, because I retake with this. If he retakes, suddenly I have his, yeah. This is going to be good. This is looking interesting. He's only got 41 seconds left. Now, check out those brainwaves. If we reach the singularity tonight, I think that's definitely, I mean, the singularity is such a momentous occasion. I'm pretty sure it's going to be shown. Where's that queen going? I really don't know. But we will force that bishop back, like I was saying. I think at this point, it's just going to be a matter of trying to hold on here for another 19 seconds and just win the game on time. I think that's going to be our best. I want to bring this knight up here attacking the queen. And to do that, I had to protect this pawn. Okay, now we have a direct line on his king. If he takes that with the pawn, we retake with our knight. Things are looking quite nasty for him. So I can put him in check right there and basically win on time. Okay, well, who knows if that was the singularity, but we have the record, and that's one reason I love to broadcast these with the brainwaves active there on the screen, because if we do hit the singularity tonight and we just start shooting up, like the rating just starts going 2,000, 2,200, 2,400, we hit the singularity. The moment of the singularity is going to be right up there. You can see it right there. Delta, gamma, theta, all the waves are right there. You're basically looking inside my mind, as I'm playing. And you can see, as I said, mind, you can see, my mind, really reacts to certain words, ideas. Okay, let's try another one here. If we hit, who knows, that might have been the singularity right there. The next game, it just might be winning from here on out, basically forever. So let's see. Let's play another game and we'll see if we're in there. And okay, we're going to play a King's Gambit. This is going to be fun. This is basically the signage system that we're playing here. If he comes up there, we're going to advance. We never trade off pawns in the center during the King's Gambit using the signage system. When the bishop comes up there, you force him back as much as possible. If he wants to take that knight, we let him. We'll just keep developing. We got his pawn. We will bring the bishop to here because it'll have a good kingside attack if he castles that way. Okay, he castled kingside. We're going to castle kingside too. Okay, now we got to figure out where we're going to do with this situation with that pawn and all. Okay, we can bring him back here. If he takes there, we'll retake. Okay, he didn't retake. That's very interesting. If he takes that bishop, okay, we can delay here a little bit. We don't want to trade down pieces. Now, he'll have to move his queen. Now, he'll have to move his bishop. And now we'll bring the bishop back to... Okay, he's going to take this pawn. We have to be careful here. I think the queen will be pretty safe right here. Okay, we're going to retake with one of these knights. This one. The knight's protected by a pawn. He's pinned against the king, but he is protected by a pawn. Oh, there we got a queen really quick there. Don't know if he's going to resign at this point. Yeah. So that was an interesting game. I think he just kind of blundered there. We can look at the analysis board just to see how we did, because that's always interesting to know if you're playing a really valid game or not. And this is free on Chess. You can always get the analysis board. You don't have to pay anything. If you're really good in life and you can donate something to a good cause, you can. It's a really great cause to donate, because Chess helps the world in a lot of ways. Okay, well, we had 2 blunders against 4, so let's see what the blunders were. Okay, well, that doesn't look too bad, really. I mean, okay, we blundered and he went down to there, which is not, I mean, he got a little bit ahead on that, but not a huge, but you can see that everything's basically white there. So not bad, not a bad game. Okay, so who knows if we're at the Singularity? We do have the Brainwaves there on record if we do hit the Singularity. So let's try another game here, and we'll try one more. I don't know how many more we're going to be able to play tonight. My assistant manager, what they call the assistant director, actually, who works with a lot of different things. He's over there right now behind the cameras, and he basically gives me he does a philosophical research about the singularity. Um, he sets up all the brainwave stuff and how to broadcast brainwaves over internet, which is extremely unique. This is something that just isn't done. It hasn't ever been done, as far as I know, in terms of internet history. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's just nobody doing this sort of thing on internet. Okay, you see, if he takes here, we retake with the bishop, and that's usually considered pretty strong. We're just going to keep developing here and see what he does. Again, if he takes there, we're going to take with the bishop. He can go ahead and keep advancing those pawns. If he advances this pawn, we'll take with this knight. We'll see what happens. This could be very, very interesting. Okay, at some point, we really don't need that knight for a lot. Again, if he takes that pawn, we'll retake with the bishop. He keeps threatening that pawn. In this case, this thing's not doing me a lot of good there. I'm going to come over here and see if I can put an attack on this pawn, and we'll see how he reacts to that. He might just freak out and take that pawn finally. Or he might advance this pawn. If he does, we'll take him here. He might defend that pawn the second time by swinging the knight over. He has a lot of options. At some point, too, we can just take this pawn. I don't want to. I'm going to try to run down the clock on this. We'll see what happens here because we'll get the same thing. It's kind of like this whole situation. Oh, okay, but now I don't have to. Okay, now I can develop this knight. I couldn't develop him before because I didn't want to block this bishop. But at this point, I can bring the knight up to here and then advance this pawn and have the same situation we had before, where he doesn't really want to take it because the bishop will come out, and plus we're going to put some pressure on his bishop with this knight. This is a classic Caro-Kann, at least the way that I play it. Very often you get into this position where this knight comes out and puts pressure on that knight, that bishop that's defending that pawn. Okay, so let's see what he's going to do with that bishop. If he just leaves it there, that's fine too. I'll take it. And then the pawn has a defender. He opens up his king's rook file. He's doing very good over there. Looking good for him. He has no problems. I'm still gonna just keep seeing if he'll take that pawn. Eventually, he might take it. Okay, he took it, and he took it there. Now we'll see what happens. Okay, he came over and got my pawn, which is not the greatest thing for me, but I get my king out of here, and I got a feeling that I can hold those pawns back out of there. Okay, I don't want to trade my queen. I mean, I might be irrational about that. They say people are very irrational about trading their queens, but I just have so many plans for that queen right now. It might have been better. I should have brought my queen up into here. I'll do that next time I have a chance. Okay, when they often do that when the knight's in this position, they put their pawn up there. And then the knight can always just swing back into here. If the pawn advances, the knight goes back where it was. And it's not the greatest thing to have a knight there, but it's not the greatest thing to loosen your king position up like that too. Like if he moves this knight right now, I can sacrifice here. If he retakes, I put him in check and I take this knight. So basically this knight is pinned. Okay, he brought that across. Now he's threatening my bishop and my queen at the same time. Should I bring it back or just trade? I might be trading because that pawn might be a good target for me. We will see. I mean, okay, so he's got his pawns coming up. I also have a passed pawn now. And I can't block those because he'll come up with his bishop. He'll come up with his rook. Okay, I'm going to develop this rook. He's protected. This rook is protected by this bishop. That was very good by him. I'm looking really cramped down there right now. Wow. I'm losing a lot of time on my clock. It looks like he's going to get some. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins this game. I'm just going to try to get a little play here. I wasted a lot of time on my clock. He's going to get a queen, and I would prefer to trade a bishop for 2 pawns in that case. He didn't have to trade like that. I mean, he could have done another thing. Okay, he's got 57 seconds. Now, we're the ones that have possibly a pawn attack coming up the center. That king can go there, no problem. Okay, and we want to attack this pawn and keep his king back. Okay, I'm just going to screw around with him right now for just a little bit. Okay, lost one of my pawns. That kind of happens like that. 33 seconds. Wow. This is not looking very good. He's going to get that. He's going to get that pawn. "19 seconds. Just playing the clock here, I got some possibility of attacking his king. He's playing very fast. Now we have an even game. He's got 11 seconds to play. That was my assistant. My assistant director just came in. He was doing his little thing. He's got 6 seconds left to play. The only thing I can hope for now is that he somehow stalemates me. And that's completely possible. Like in that position. Oh, crap. Look at that. 3. If I had gone, I didn't have another move though. Well, I definitely, that might have been a singularity. I had like a little, okay, let's try one more because I got a little bit. That was not perfect playing conditions. Okay, let's concentrate really, really strong this time. And let's just see if it just works out very, very well. Here we go with another King's Gambit. When they do that, you got to take that pawn up there. I had a little situation there. 3/300ths of a second, and the problem was I wasn't looking at my clock quite that well, and there was a reason for that. I had one of my technicians in here, like moving around near my feet. Was one of the gaffers, and he was in here like trying to connect some wires. to the, to power they have to power the lights. And he was down here next to my feet in a very, very inconvenient way. And I mean, when that happens, you're gonna screw up. When there's just a few seconds on the clock like that, it's very, very possible to screw up. Now, let's see what we got here. We're down 2 pawns. He's not down quite so much. We're down a pawn. So, I really don't know how this is going to work out. It might be horrible. We are down a pawn. The only thing we can do is hopefully he'll make some kind of a mistake. Still hoping for that singularity. The singularity could actually happen even in the middle of a horrible game like this, because suddenly everything just clicks. That's the idea of the singularity. When it hits, it's going to hit, and it doesn't matter if you're in a weak position, in a strong position. You just have everything's different. You hit the singularity, and after that, you never see the game the same. And we're doing okay on the clock. We're doing okay. Might be able to close that bishop out of there a little bit, at least for a move or two. Would like to double up his pawns or do something here. Well, that was interesting. The bishop just came right down there. Bishop, I mean the rook. Uh-huh. We might be. The reason I did that is I'm going to. Well, I can't. If I trade off these rooks, then I can bring this. Yeah, I'm going to trade off this rook if I can now. Because at that point, I can bring this bishop down here. My whole idea is to get this pawn if he doesn't protect it with this. He might not understand that I can really threaten him right now. If he doesn't protect that pawn, ooh, wow. Okay, but I can still threaten him here. I'm losing a lot of pawns here. Like a lot of pawns. But he might start losing some too if he's not careful. Okay, you can see the attack on my king there. I gotta get my king out of there. Otherwise, that pawn advance would have been really horrible. Well, I should have actually brought this rook up here. I could have won that. Well, no, that's better to do it next time. He would have brought the bishop to another position and then had the same move. Wow, that's pretty bad. No, I'm going to lose this game. I was just going for a kind of a trap there, but wasn't playing very well that last little part. Okay, well, that was a bad game, but maybe we learned something. Maybe the singularity will hit us this time, and if it does, it'll be right there on the electroencephalogram. Okay, we're going to play a Carol Can this time. We will not be discouraged by losing. If we do happen to lose a few, it just means we're going to win again very soon. Okay, I want to advance this pawn up into here, and he's going to let me do it. So I'm just going to do it. I don't think that pawn advance over there is going to help him, but he might get something strong out of that. I don't know. We got to do something smart now. I actually think that limiting that bishop from attacking there and getting this knight out here will give us a little bit of counterplay. That will help eliminate that bishop there. He's got his king kind of like right out in the middle right now. And he can't castle. Okay, he wants to take me there. If he takes me there, I can take him there. You can see what he's doing, right? Everybody can see that. I think this will be a strong move. If he takes that knight, I can take his pawn. There's a pretty good check. There's another interesting check. Uh-huh. Now if I bring this bishop up here, can he protect it with anything? No. I think I can just take that bishop next move. Now his bishop is pinned. The bishop he wanted to attack my king with all these moves is now pinned against his own king. He can't move. None of this is... and when you hit the singularity, it's not like you're suddenly going to say, oh, now I'm going to play Hikaru. I hit the singularity. No, it's not like that. That's not the idea of the singularity. The idea of the singularity is that you just start winning. It's not like you just win everything. It's not like I say. It's not like you're just going to go out and beat Hikaru the next day. But you just start winning. You win more. You win more. You win more. Before you know it, you work your way. You have the power to work your way up through the ranks. That's what the singularity is. The power to work your way up through the ranks. Now he has a little problem here because he lost his queen. We got 2 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock. And he resigned. I don't know. I don't know if we're at the singularity or not. Anyway, the brainwaves are there. You can check those. Um, it's enough play for tonight. There's a lot of data there. There's a lot of patterns to check out. And again, we have the record. If we do start winning from this point out, that will be a historical first. The singularity will have been documented with brainwaves, and that'll be the start of a great chess career too, if we actually hit the singularity. But we'll see. Next, stay tuned because follow me, because then you get the notice in your email. When I'm online, boom, you got the notice. I'm online. You come. I'm playing the chess, so you don't have to. You watch the brainwaves, wait for the singularity, and we'll take it from there. So see you next week or tomorrow. Who knows? Bye bye.